Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're new, I want to welcome you. If you're returning, welcome back. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about clearly deciding what it is you want to see in your life. So many times people talk to me about how, they want to manifest things. They're like, how do I manifest? I'm trying to stay positive. I want to manifest all these things, and I know I have to be positive, but I don't see it happening. And what's going on? Why am I not getting what I want? Part of the problem is that a lot of people will just put out random statements like, I want to win the lottery, or I want to be successful. But what does that actually mean? So I think what people misunderstand is you really have to get clear about why do you want these things? Like not just randomly saying, I want to win the lottery. Okay, why? Why do you want to win the lottery? And obviously the obvious choice would be, I want to be rich. Okay, but why do you want to be rich? What would being rich allow you to do? And I think that's where people miss the mark, because it's like, I'm just throwing things out there that I think would be cool. But what can you do with those things? Because it's all about how do we give back. So if you won the lottery, you would have more money. What would you be able to do with it? I'd be able to start my dream business, or I'd be able to pay for my kids' college. I would be able to give to the charities that I love giving to. I could give more. I would be able to do, and you just fill in all of the ways that would be helpful to you. Because I think when we just say, like, I want to win the lottery, I mean, okay, but it's just such a random, general statement. And I think that you have to get really clear about, why do you want to see the things that you want to see manifest? And that's where journaling is great, because when I want to manifest something, I don't just simply say it to the universe. I sit and I write it down. And I think that does several things. Number one, if you're writing it down, it's almost like having a goal. You're writing down what you want to see happen in your life. And what's great about that is that you can go back and look at all of the things that have already happened for you. Like, I wanted to have my own business. I wanted to have my own podcast. I wanted to publish a book. I was able to go back and check off 3 of those things from my list, which is pretty cool because it shows how far you've come. And also having them written down, it's a good idea to go and visit them. You have them written so you can go back and look at them, and every day take a few minutes looking at what you've written down and just show gratitude for the universe for knowing that it's on its way. But I think you have to get really clear about what it is you want, because like I said, some people will just throw that out there like, I just want to win the lottery. Yes, so does everyone else in the free world. Everyone wants to win the lottery. But why do you want to win the lottery? Why do you want large sums of money? And it doesn't have to come through the lottery. I mean, people, I think, are very limited in the way that they think the universe can operate. So if they want a large sum of money, they think that the only way they can get it is to win the lottery, when there are a lot of other ways you can win a large sum of money as well, besides the lottery. And I also don't put limitations on the universe. I say this or better. Now, when I talk about for my business, what I want to see happen, I put numbers down. I know where I want to be in my business and I use numbers, but I always say this or better. Because sometimes what I know is that I think too small. So I'll say I would love to have this many more clients, but this or better. Because the universe can bring us way more than we ever expected. And we don't want to limit the universe. So that's why it's important to think about what we're saying too. What do we want? So if you want to have something show up in your life, get very clear about what it is you want. And what I've told people before is, like, I'm not saying to be too specific on certain things. So if you want a soulmate, for example, don't get bogged down in that he must have brown hair, she must be blonde. Like, don't worry about that stuff. Instead, focus on, I want someone who will be loving and supportive and giving and, all of the characteristics that you want in a person, because that's what's really important anyway. And the universe is being limited if you tell them it has to be someone with brown hair, which is just kind of silly anyway. In the same way, when you're hoping for other things, like if you want to see your business expand, some of the things that you can ask for is to ask for ideas to help you and help your business expand. And you can ask for the universe to bring you people who can help your business expand. That's one of the things I do too, because, asking for money and more clients, that's great. But that only does so much too. Like, you have to think of all of the ways that you could ask the universe to bring whatever it is you're hoping to manifest. So if it is money, don't just put down, I want to win the lottery. I would put a sum of money and say this or better, and then say, any way you want to bring this to me, universe, would be amazing. And this is what I would do with the money. If I had this money, I could do this, I could do that, I could do this. Just start listing all of the things you would do with it. You just need to get very clear, because a lot of people aren't really very clear about what they want. I can't tell you how many times people have come to me and said, like, I want a soulmate. And I'll say, oh, okay, well, what do you want in your soulmate? And they're like, and it's crickets, there's dead silence. So a lot of people don't even really know what they want. They really don't. So that might be the first step, is really unpacking your manifestation. Like, what do you want? Why do you want it? What would this do for you? Because a lot of us just say, I want this, but we don't really know why we want it. Is being rich and having all the money in the world going to make you happy? Or is it going to be having enough to get by and being surrounded by people who love you? Like, what is it? So I think you have to really consider that, and then sit down with your thoughts. And, it's perfectly okay to have a couple of rough draft manifests, a couple of rough drafts of your manifestations, because you have to get really clear. And sometimes in going through the thought process, we go, oh yeah, wait, I'm not asking for the right thing, so then we have to change it, which is why we do that. And then you come up with your final draft of, this is what I want. And that is what you choose to focus on, and that is what you spend even 2 or 3 minutes of your day going back and looking at it and saying, I'm so thankful that I already have this. I already know it's on the way. Because it is. If you're in the right frame of mind and the timing is right, the universe will bring it to you. But it is about divine timing. So it's not like, a lot of these people who will guarantee the manifesting and they're like, it will happen tomorrow. It's all about divine timing. It depends on what you're asking for, because there are certain things that have to be worked out. If you are asking for a soulmate, that person may not be available right now, or may have to work on themselves. Or if you're asking for a dream job, it may not exist yet. They may have to create it, or someone may have to leave the position so that you have the position. So there's a lot of things that go into that. So once you get really clear on what it is that you want to manifest in your life, you have to believe that you're worthy of it and that you deserve it. And that's where a lot of people fall short, because they have all of these great ideas, they know what they want to manifest, they get very clear about it, but they don't really actually believe that they're worthy of receiving it. And that can be a very deeply rooted limiting belief. Maybe you don't even realize that you're blocking yourself, because maybe you don't realize you don't think you don't deserve it. One of the things that I have started saying is that I let go of fear surrounding money or fear surrounding love, and I welcome in change. And I love that. And I've seen a huge difference when I've done that, because I think that a lot of the fears that I have around being successful were dark, deeply rooted from not just this lifetime, but from past lifetimes. And I've done past life regressions before, and I've seen that. So for me, it's about healing that and getting over the fear. So saying that, it makes me feel better, first of all. But I think it's also signifying to the universe, look, I'm identifying, I already know I had this fear, and I don't want it to block my blessings anymore, because we are blocking our abundance when we don't think that we deserve them. So again, I just say, I am releasing fear when it comes to money and success and relationships, and I am allowing change. Because a big part of it is we fear change. Whether we really realize that or not, we do sometimes. And if you do get everything you want, your life's going to change. It has to. And so how will you deal with that? So that's another thing, is that it's very possible, even though you're saying, oh, I want this, that you could be fearing change. So again, it's about releasing the fear and allowing the change. Because the universe is supporting you and the universe has your back. So any change that's coming in is only going to be a good thing if we allow it. So definitely make sure that you are not blocking your own self. So you can say mantras like the ones that I just gave you, or you can do tappings. There are tappings out there for not feeling like you're enough. There are also meditations out there to help you with that as well. The other thing that you have to do is to make sure that your energy is positive and that you have energy, because sometimes we go through life completely drained. So it's important that you make sure that your energy is, not completely drained. It's not low vibrational, that you're vibrating very high. And another thing I see, and I've been guilty of this in the past, that's very low vibrational, is if we see other people getting the things that we wanted or just being successful, we sometimes have the tendency to want to be jealous, and that's very low vibrational, and that's going to block your abundance too, because we should be happy for everyone who's getting their blessings, because what that means is that we could get ours too. If it can happen for them, it can happen for us. I think that some people mistakenly believe that if someone else, like if your neighbor wins the lottery, you're going to be like, oh, now I can't win the lottery. And there's nothing that says you can't. There isn't like just a limited supply with the universe. The universe is unlimited. So there's no reason why if someone else gets their wishes, you can't get yours too. It's just proof that you can. But we have that, it's like already programmed in us, this mindset that there's only so much to go around, and that is just not true. And that, I think, is another thing that blocks us, because we see other people, and instead of being like, oh my gosh, that's so great. Did you see Sharon got everything she ever wanted? That's awesome for her. Instead of doing that, we're like, oh my gosh, did you see her? What the heck? How did she get that job? Who did she have to sleep with to get that job? Which is like so wrong. Like, why do we do that? We should be celebrating, We shouldn't be putting people down and criticizing people. But that's such a human thing to do. It is a human thing to do. We've learned to criticize the people we're jealous of, when really we shouldn't be jealous. We should just use that as like a positive role model. Like, look, if this person can achieve everything, so can I. And that's how we have to see it. So don't feel jealous or slighted when you see other people's success. Instead, cheer them on. We need cheerleaders. We need people in our corners. The more, the better. So don't ever feel like you have to, be jealous of someone else's successes. You don't. And you also don't have to dim your own light just in case others might get jealous. So don't do that either, because I've seen people do that. It's like, oh, well, if I get too successful, my friends and family are going to be jealous. No, they're really, they shouldn't get jealous. They should be supportive of you. And I know that we say they shouldn't, and there might be some people who do, but that's low vibrational energy, and you can't let that stop you. And we can always ask for, help from our spiritual team. Like, please let them be happy for me, because this is a good thing. The people who aren't happy when you're successful, it's only because usually they're not happy within themselves, because otherwise, most people, when their friends are successful and they have awesome things coming to them, they're happy for them. They're not like jealous and bitter. So it's only people who aren't healed. Only those people who have not healed yet, those are the ones who get very upset, because they're holding on to a lot of baggage and a lot of stuff. And as I said, your energy has to be very high. So you need to work on raising your energy vibration. And there are several ways you can do that. You can do tappings for that. You can do meditations. There's the angelic tones that you can listen to if you go to YouTube. And you can just search for music for raising your vibration, and that stuff comes up right away. And just listen to it. Listen to songs that make you happy, because you need to be in the right energy space in order to really manifest. You can't be drained and all of these other things. You have to take care of yourself. So self-love is super important, and self-care is important. So it's making sure that you're getting enough sleep at night, making sure that you are drinking enough water, that you are putting healthy things into your body. And yes, I know we're all guilty of eating bad things. And I'm not saying anything about, don't ever do that. You can, but make sure that everything's balanced. I think balance is so important for everything in your life. So make sure that you're balancing, what you eat. So if you eat something not so good, make sure you eat something good for you, or that you're not eating a lot of what's bad for you. I would never say don't cut things out completely, because I think that's what makes people crave it more. But I always if I'm going to have something, it's just, okay, I'm only going to have this much. And then I don't feel deprived. So it's about balance. And again, making sure that your mood is elevated. So if you need to take a hot salt bath with essential oils like lavender, do that. If you need to sage yourself, do that, because sometimes you do. Sometimes you have to clear your own energy. And they have those sprays that you can buy too, the energy clearing sprays. They have those on Etsy, and I think Amazon has some. So you can get some of those if you want. Holding a crystal also helps usually. Doing a quick little energy clearing where you imagine light coming through you and clearing your energy, that helps. But just being positive. I think, you have to be positive. And you're going to have your days where you don't feel like it. I get it. But in as much as you can, you need to try. And just understanding that there is only a stream of well-being that flows. And we either allow it or we resist it. And most of us sometimes resist it. And the way that we do that is by not believing that we deserve things, thinking that it won't happen, or trying to control the outcome, trying to control when and how it happens, when it shows up. But if you learn how to just let go of control and just focus on being the best version of you possible, taking care of yourself, then you get in the flow. And when you're in the flow, then all of that stuff just comes to you. Something to think about. All right, guys. Well, I wanted to pull a card for you today. And the card I pulled is from the Teachings of Abraham deck. And the card that I got is, What's My Big Hurry? It's all for joy, all is well. What's the big hurry? You're not ever going to get it done, so what are you racing towards? Every single activity that you're involved in is for one purpose only, and that is to give you a moment of joy. That's why it all exists. Lighten up, laugh more, appreciate more, all is well. I love that, and it's true. There isn't a timetable for our dreams. Our dreams do not expire. So there's no point in rushing towards them and trying to make sure that you're getting everything done. You'll get there. You don't have to have it done by a certain day or a certain time. Just know that it's coming, and just work on being the best version of you and learning how to appreciate what you have currently in your life, because that's where you will find true joy and peace. All right, guys, well, I want to thank you so much for being with me. As always, if you like this podcast, please subscribe. Please share it with others. That helps others find me. Please leave me reviews from wherever you're listening. I really appreciate it, and I want to thank all of you who've already done that. Also, if you want to work with me right now, my coaching sessions are 30% off, and my Love Your Life course, where I go even deeper into how to manifest, how to break through limiting beliefs, how to build self-love and self-esteem, how to set healthy boundaries for yourself, and all kinds of other awesome topics, is only $33. It's normally $88. But as my Valentine's gift to you, I wanted to make sure that everyone could afford to make themselves better, to work on themselves, because that is what we are here for. So if you would like to get in on this program, simply go to my website, melissaoatman.com, go to the What I Offer and the Love Your Life tab, and then there you can purchase it. Once you purchase it through PayPal, I will send you an email with instructions on how to log in. I want to thank everyone who has worked with me this month. I've had an amazing response to all of the coaching and to the classes, so I want to thank you for that. And if you have any questions or you just want to reach out, don't hesitate. All of my contact information is in the description to the podcast. Don't forget to follow me on social media. I go live on Facebook Mondays at 5:30 Central, where I do a free card reading, and I also upload videos to Instagram. I hope that you guys will have an amazing day. I'm so thankful that you are here with me and that you're a part of my journey. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.